Hey everybody, happy Friday. It's Wilson giving you a real estate market update for the week of May 15th, 2020. First is showing stats by Showingtime. This is a little bit new in me presenting this information. As you can see, ever since the shelter in place was enacted in all of California, there was a big dip in the amount of showings, over 50%. That trend is starting to change and we're catching up. We're not quite yet at last year's showing scheduling. However, we're getting closer. You can see this uptick right here ever since the beginning of April to mid-May, and this is for all of the state. What does that suggest? Buyers are out there touring homes. Now that shelter in place has been enacted for a period of time, people are realizing that they still want to be out and about and looking for a dream home. So next is going to be sales price to list price, all of San Mateo County. First time in a long time, we're starting to see so far this month, properties are selling below 100% of their listed value. I think there's two things that we can summarize from this. First is people are pricing more transparently at the value that they believe they're going to get versus pricing below market rate to drive traffic, because there is no traffic, there's no open houses, there's no group showings. Secondly is buyers are realizing they're having one-on-one negotiations. So buyers and sellers are settling at a place on average a little bit below the list price or at list price. These are market, as we know from previous weeks of explanation, it's not very accurate, they're frozen. Next is we see a continued trend of increasing inventory ever since the beginning of the year. It's not the most drastic increase, it's a gradual increase, which is good. So the other thing that we need to see is so far in May, halfway through the month, there's been 121 sales in San Mateo County. It's less than half of what it was last month. Depending on how the month ends, we're starting to see that sales are continuing to lag. Next is for all of the statewide in March so far, the data that California Association of Realtors has pulled, sales is down by 28%. And that's quite drastic. So that doesn't mean prices are going down, but that means there's less units, less properties to be able to purchase. New mortgage applications on the rise. So basically we're starting to see that there's an increase in new mortgage purchase applications. However, it's not quite near where it was last year, but it's good signs overall that it's increasing. Here's some short run estimates. The economy will shrink by 30 to 40% in this quarter. Unemployment is expected to exceed over 20% for nationwide. Double-digit decline on home sales for California, as we saw so far in 1 month, it's 28%. Declines expected to persist through April and May, maybe June. I'm assuming they suggest that just in case shelter gets extended, or once shelter is removed, how people are going to gradually react to it. Price impacts expected to remain in single digits. That's true. We haven't really seen prices dip a lot, nor have they increased, obviously. They're pretty steady at this time. Mortgage credit remains difficult to obtain, as we've stated previous weeks. Mortgage companies are requiring 20% or more, and in some cases, bigger reserves, so 6 months for some loan programs, and also higher and stricter credit standards. The big wild card, as we all know, is the second wave if there's worse numbers. Why the housing market is poised to do well long-term. The long-term benefits is still there. Health, wealth, lifestyle, and for future generations if you purchase and if you own a property long-term. Structural shift, acceleration of recent trends. There's not as much commuters, there's more opportunities. There's potential solutions for supply as a result. People still want ownership, and maybe an option now because prices aren't increasing as they were in the beginning of the year. And our homes are more important to us than ever before. So the question I have for you today is based on what is my 100% I can give today based on the circumstance of today. Obviously, we're not in a perfect situation. We're never in a perfect situation, but based on the external factors of what's going on, what's the 100% I can give today to myself, to my family, to my business, to my team, to anyone that matters to us. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully this is helpful. If there's any data you want to see for the next week, let us know.